Morning. It is 8:21 Eastern Standard Time. And I just wanted to come on really quickly because I'm running into the office. I have appointments this morning and I also need to grab something to eat. So I can't be on too long. However, I did want to talk a little bit about masculine containment and some of the more recent content that I have either reposted or created. And just give you kind of a very brief definition. I am going to post a video link where you can learn all about masculine containment if you are curious about it. But it's unfortunate that in 2023, a lot of us don't have a clue what that is. A lot of men and women, we don't have a clue what that is. And so when I use some of the terms and some of the phrases that I use, a lot of people who are younger, they're like, why is it so complicated? Why are you talking about this? And, what is this? And why are we making things so complicated? And the truth of the matter is, these are things that, have been around forever. However, because, a lot of men don't have good fathers in the home, good fathers that are present and actually attuned, teaching them these things. And they may not have necessarily used the word masculine containment, but they're teaching them some of the basic concepts of what that is and what that means. And if you're 35 or younger, you may not have gotten some of these lessons. So you don't know what that is. And women don't know what that is. Just like a lot of women don't know what it is, to be in their feminine, and, they push back against the concept of feminine submission and all of that. A lot of men don't know what it is to provide masculine containment. And so, here's what I want to give for you to consider. Okay, I'm giving you this to consider because, again, I find myself teaching people how to critically think, because that's not a thing now. People don't critically think. People don't want to be open to new ideas or new concepts. And quite frankly, as I just stated, this isn't a new idea or a new concept, but it may be new to you. It may be new to you, okay? But being open to ideas or concepts that you don't know anything about, that you're not familiar with, and just saying, you know what, let me just be willing to learn. Let me just be open to learning about masculine containment. Let me hear what she's talking about. Let me figure out what this is all about, because it's not something I'm familiar with. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know anything about it. Like, being open and willing to learn. Like, that's a lost art. For some reason, people don't want to do that. And here's what critical thinking entails. It says, okay, I'm just going to be open and willing to learn. And I'm going to just take this information in, and what you do with it, what you do with the information is really up to you. Nobody is force feeding you this information. Nobody is telling you this is the way you need to do it. But I do ask that people be open. Like, you just be open to something you may not know anything about. And just, think about it, mull it around, roll it around in your brain, and check in with your feelings and say, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about this concept that was shared? That's it. That's all I'm asking, people to do now, is why is that so difficult for us to be open and willing to learn something new, and then see how that might apply to us? Is that something we might want to apply in our lives? That's it. But the concept of masculine containment or masculine frame. So if you're familiar with the red pill community, or you're familiar with, some of the men's platforms, and not the toxic ones, but, the ones that are actually content creators that I'm good friends with, that are teaching a lot of good information, a lot of good, healthy, masculine information. So if you don't want to learn it from me, I can list, in the post, I can actually list several platforms where men are teaching these concepts to other men. Now, if you don't want to learn from them and you don't want to learn from me, I don't know what to tell you. And again, that tells me something about you. Like, if you can't learn from people, if you can't keep your mind open and learn new things, learn new concepts and critically think about them, okay, that says something about you. That doesn't say anything about me. But masculine containment, masculine frame, it is simply being willing to know yourself, right? To understand yourself, to know yourself, to have, again, critically thought about yourself as a man and who you are and what you're about and what you want. And you have that frame, you have that way of doing things and way of living, and you're willing to, bring someone into that. You're especially a woman. You're willing to provide that information to a woman, to provide clarity, to provide structure, to provide leadership. But if you can't do that for yourself, that's the problem. Okay, gentlemen, so a lot of you can't provide any structure or frame or clarity to a woman because your life doesn't have it. You don't have any of that for yourself. You're not leading yourself anywhere. And I've been telling women this. Stop following a man on the path to nowhere. Okay, there's a whole lot of men out here who are racing down a path to nowhere. And ladies, you shouldn't be anywhere near those men. Okay, if he doesn't know himself, if he doesn't know what he wants, doesn't want and needs, if he can't provide frame and clarity and structure and leadership for himself, he certainly can't do it for you. So leave those men where they stand. Allow them the time and the energy and effort to get to know themselves. Okay, allow them the time to heal and from their wounds and figure out what they're doing and who hurt them and all that good stuff. Give them that time. Leave them alone. Y'all keep wanting to be with these men and give them free sex and all this other stuff. And then you wonder why. Oh my God, it didn't work out. I got hurt. I'm confused. That's the number one thing I hear from women. I'm just confused because you're messing around with men that cannot provide any masculine containment, can't provide any masculine frame. That's because they're confused. Okay? So leave them alone. Let them figure themselves out. Ask questions. That's the first way you're going to know is just ask questions. But if you don't get good answers to those questions, leave them where they are. Let them figure it out for themselves. Okay? And go on to someone who does have those answers. Okay? That's it. So, yes, masculine containment. It has been around since Adam and Eve, and it is basically a man's, ability to know himself, love himself, have structure, have, being able to lead himself, know what he wants, know what he's about, know what his boundaries are. Oh, Jesus, Lord, knows his boundaries and sticks up for them, like holds those boundaries. Okay. And just, it's attractive. It's incredibly attractive. A man who, can communicate his boundaries, stick up for himself. Okay, what if he says he wants to be friends first? That's fine. You can be his friend. But please don't do anything more than that, because if he don't have his life together, if he don't know who he is, where he going, what he doing with you, let me go here real quick while it's jumping into my head. A man must have an intention for you. So at least if he says, let's be friends first, great. I love it. I love it. He has an intention to be friends. But if he's doing the whole, I want to kick it. I just want to see. I'm not sure, okay, let's see what happens. Blah, blah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to end up incredibly confused. But that's the number one word I hear women say when I'm working with them. I'm just confused because he's confused. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what he wants. No. Okay. So no. Okay. That's it. But this idea of masculine frame, masculine containment. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. It is as old as time. My grandfather did it to my grandmother, all of his daughters, all of his sisters, all of my grandmother's sisters, like all of the women in our neighborhood. He provided masculine containment. He provided a certain amount of leadership, a certain amount of protection, a certain amount of provision to every woman, to every child, to every animal. Like my grandfather's the gold standard of what a healthy masculine man is. Married to my grandmother until the day he died, had 10 children. I can go on and on, but yeah, he was the blueprint of masculine containment. And it was never a question. Like if he was the man in the room, he was the man in the room. That's it. It didn't matter what women were in the room, if they needed protecting, if they needed leadership, if they needed clarity, he provided it. That's what masculine containment is. He didn't sit back and wait for other people to figure it out. He didn't sit back and, let women struggle with, lifting up something heavy or whatever. No, he was like, I am the man in this room. I am the masculine force in this room, and I'm going to do what men do. And, the Teal Swan video I just posted, it made him confident. It made him feel good about himself. It made him purposeful. Like, not only did it bless all the women in the room, it made him feel good. It made him feel needed and good. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win, fellas. It really is. Like, that's how you build your confidence and your self-esteem, is you are purposeful. You are providing something of value. And again, we're not going to go off on a tangent about, providing financially. We're simply stating, just providing clarity, just providing healthy leadership, just providing structure. To me, that's everything. That is everything. And to me, that's why I always tell women, yes, if a man can plan a date, he is providing an experience that you did not have to Google, look up, make reservations for, figure out how long it's going to take to get there. Like, I'm exhausted. If I'm doing all that, by the time I get to the date, I'm exhausted. So, yeah, that's amazing. I get to show up relaxed. I get to show up excited. Oh my gosh, where are we going? What are we going to do? What are we going to eat? Like, I am excited. I'm giddy. I am the girl. And yeah, I love that. I love all of that. So that is it. And I mean, I can go deeper down that rabbit hole, but I just wanted to give you a little glimpse, because that, in my opinion, is what is missing. Is there is a certain amount of masculine frame or containment that is missing. And I can go, and again, I'm talking about the men right now. I can go over to the female side of the fence. Y'all know that. I'm an equal opportunity. Like, I talk about everybody. But right now, I'm simply talking about the men. That's it. But that is going to build your healthy self-esteem, guys. That, like, I go to my son with problems all the time. I go to my son with, what should we do about this? The dog is sick. What should we do? Can you call the vet? What should we do about that? And he's like, yep. And he gets on it, and he, makes sure I'm safe, make sure his sisters are safe, make sure the house is locked up at night. He's at home right now, getting ready for work, but he's like, I got to make, Tony's food for the week, and I'm going to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to take out, he's on it. He's on it. And I'm like, thank you, son. He brung me my favorite cookies last night. He was texting me. He's like, hey, we need, chicken to make the dog's food. I bought you some cookies. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. See, and that makes him feel good. That he put a smile on my face. He made me happy, and that makes him feel good. And I, in turn, appreciated his gift. I appreciate what he does, and everyone is the better for it. That's it. Nobody's taking advantage of anybody. Nobody's using anybody, but we are doing this beautiful masculine feminine dance. It's beautiful. I do it with my son. I do it with my dad. I do it with, the men in my life. Yeah, we do this beautiful masculine dance. And that's why they keep coming back over and over, because they're like, yeah, I feel wanted here. I feel needed here. I feel appreciated. I feel purposeful. Yeah, I make men feel purposeful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I need you. Like, these are the things that women need to start expressing to men more. We need you. Thank you for what you are doing. Okay? And then you can share a little bit of what you want more of. But first, appreciate what a man is providing and offering to you. That's it. It's not hard. All right, I got to jump into Starbucks. And y'all know, okay, so let me update y'all. I've been gone from social media for about 4 or 5 weeks. I have not had coffee in 2 weeks, y'all. I have not had coffee in 2 weeks. It's been like 2 weeks and 5 days. I'm not going in here to get coffee. I'm going to get some hot tea, probably some green tea, and I'm going to get some, like a sandwich, a breakfast sandwich, and I'm going to get a piece of pumpkin loaf. That's what I'm getting. I have not had coffee in 2 weeks, 2 months and 5 days, and I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm alive. I'm doing great. I feel great. Oh my gosh, I needed to cut out coffee. That was the bottom line. And y'all know me, the person that I am. When I make up my mind to do something, I do it. I do it. I'm like, I'm not drinking coffee. So I'm not going in here for coffee, but this is right around from my office. So I'm just going to run in here, grab something to eat. Thank you so much. No, coffee isn't bad. It's just, it doesn't work with my system anymore. I've drank coffee for 50 plus years. And in the last like year or two, it has just not worked for me. So I don't think coffee is bad. It just don't work for me anymore. I can't drink it anymore. So yeah, I gotta let it go. And now I gotta, get 8, 9 hours of sleep at night so I can feel rested in the morning. I'm not relying on it. And life has been good. Life has been good. But here's the thing I'm gonna tell y'all. As you get older, there are gonna be certain things you cannot eat and cannot drink anymore. It's a very weird thing, but I'm just accepting it. I'm just rolling along with it because your body cannot metabolize certain foods, certain drinks. It just is what it is. So I am listening to my body. I am honoring and respecting what my body is telling me, and I can't have coffee anymore. So now I got to have tea. All right. Have a wonderful day. Please check out the content that I reposted. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. Give me your comments about the content. Sometimes, I get some pushback from some of the gentlemen. But like I said, in our live on Wednesday, and if you have a chance, check out the live I did with Jason Smith, all about attachments. I'm actually going into the office and I have a couple clients coming in today and they want to talk about attachment. So I'm excited. They want to talk about healing their attachment style. So I'm very excited about that. But check out the live that we did on Wednesday. There will be some changes coming up to my platform, the way I do things. I think this is long overdue, but I'm kind of returning to my original purpose and plan for my platform. So I'll announce more of that later in the month. Have a fantastic Saturday. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. And have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.